So Daniel Penny was acquitted on both charges. Good. That's exactly what should have happened. Yeah, one of the things that's the problem with this world is not enough good people standing up enough against bad people, right? So we were kind of we were one. Oh, by the way, did you hear that they caught, or they think they do? They're interviewing a person of interest in that shooting of the United Healthcare CEO, and the kid's name is, what is it? Luigi Mangione, I think. He's some rich kid from somewhere, I don't know, some Ivy League school who was a fan of Ted Kaczynski and big in the eco movement. And what else? He was the anti-capitalist and, eco. He's an eco-terrorist. Apparently it had, and this is exactly what I said in the last video I said. I didn't have to watch more than 2 minutes to know this was not a professional hit like so many people were trying to make a big deal out of. And it was personal. Well, it turns out it was. He had a grandmother. Matter of fact, I even mentioned to Kelly, they're going to find out that somebody in his family had a bad experience with the healthcare system, and it's going to be a mother or a grandmother. And sure enough, a grandmother and a grandfather had bad situations apparently with the healthcare system a long time ago. But back when Luigi was young, and he had to grow up and be kind of simmered in the eco hatred of Ted Kaczynski and all the other eco wackos for him to grow up and carry this out. I'm sure he sees himself as a hero. He left a manifesto, it says, not much of a manifesto, it's 2.5 pages long. So, it sounds more like a middle school assignment. But we will see what happens about that. And you know how much I have just covered that as much as it deserves to be covered. If you all been following it, I'd only say why, But the news, it's going to continue. It's going to go on and on and on. The FBI is going to come in. They're going to be talking about, well, we're still looking for the motive and everything. Quit worrying about stuff like this. But Daniel Penny, that's a different matter. Are riots going to happen? I mean, and I'll tell you, they might. But like my wife was telling me, she says, I just don't see the same outrage over this as we did over, what was his name? St. George Floyd. And I think a lot of that is because there was so much immediate outpouring of support for Penny. This was an obvious situation. He was acting crazy on the subway. Everybody was afraid of him. He said he was going to kill people, and somebody actually stood up and helped. How about that? And a good guy. And it's even sad that he had to go through all of this, at the expense of defending himself. And it is funny. We spend so much time defending our right actions, don't we? We just spend more time attacking wrong actions, this world would be a better place. But anyway, so he's been found not guilty. And that does not mean that his family can't go forward. Kelly asked me this. It doesn't mean that his family can't go forward with civil action. They can. Just like in the OJ situation. But the danger was, and a lot of people were saying this, if he was convicted, what would happen to other so-called good Samaritans would otherwise want to stand up and help in those times? And that's a good point. It would have had devastating effect on other people who would say, well, I'm not going to get involved because I don't want to be arrested. I don't want to be thrown in jail. I don't want to be tried. I don't want to lose my family, my business, everything like that. We are letting these maniacs, first off, on our streets, the crazy people on our streets, and then the crazy people in our prosecutor's office. Not all of them, but the New York, the crazy people in the social justice movement, let's just put it that way. These little social justice warriors that want to make a name for themselves and want to stir the pot. And back when was it Rush that coined the phrase poverty pimp? I don't know if it was or not, but he used it to describe Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all of that. And it was those who drummed up their fame and money by by blowing on the coals of racial hatred and getting people all stirred up. We see this happening with this case because the Good Samaritan was white and the criminal, the dead criminal was black. That shouldn't make a difference, but isn't it sad that in our world it does? So we will see what happens. It could result in riots. Kelly, my wife, said, "Well, it's kind of cold weather for the rioters to get out there," and she has a point there. But we will see. What I think we will see, and again, like I said, I don't think we're going to see the another summer of love like St. George, but that was stirred up by the media too, and we're not. Again, the outpouring of support for Penny, I think, has been such that the media has been unable to fan the flames of racial hatred in this as much as they did with George Floyd. And I'll tell you another thing is that this guy is coming back into office. Now, if Biden had gotten reelected, or he wasn't reelected, if what's her name? What's that bozo's name that was running for president, honey? You know, the girl. What was it? What was the girl's name? It was, huh? Kamala, right? Yeah. Oh, somebody will get on here and tell me that I'm horrible for calling her a girl. It was just, it had nothing to do with a racial. But of course, she's not black, so I can't, no, it wasn't racial at all. It was meant to be demeaning because she's an idiot. Okay. But if she had been elected, you think you think Penny would have been acquitted? I have my doubts. I think if the country had gone and put her in, I think Penny might have been convicted. And if he had been convicted, I think there would definitely be, or if he had been acquitted under her, I think there would definitely be, shall we say, social unrest. To the extent of which, I don't know, but I think there would have been. However, America expressed itself that it might be coming back to sanity from several years of insanity, and he's coming back. And between America returning to some of its senses, and again, like I say, the immediate outpouring and widespread outpouring of support for Penny, I think it's going to be tampered. This is what we have to do. And I probably should have put this on American reversion. Maybe I will later. But this is how we fight and win our battles, is by people standing up and supporting what is right. Instead of sitting back and whining and complaining and grumbling and grouching about how things just aren't fair and things aren't working out and blah, blah, blah. Get up and do something about it. Get up and say something about it. Okay. Penny just stepped up and did something about it. Choked out the guy who was trying to hurt people. The guy was full of drugs, just like St. George was. That's why, he died because he was a thug. He didn't have to do that. And other people need to stand up, whether at work or on their channels or wherever, and say, it's too bad when somebody loses their life, but it's also too bad that this Marine, Daniel Penny, had to and now has to carry with him, which something that's going to follow him the rest of his life, from killing this guy. It's too bad. So will we have riots? No, I don't think so. I think we're gonna see a whole lot of arguing. Oh man, we're gonna see a riot on The View, huh? Yeah, I think the only thing we're going to see out of this is a lot of grumbling on CNN and MSNBC, and again a cause of racism and racial hatred and all the isms and akis that they want to call us and always do. But this also sends a message to the people on the street, and I think a lot of people don't understand that there are different segments of life and different levels of the world. The people on the streets get messages much different than the people on the CNN and MSNBC news desks. And when it comes back, hey, this scumbag got killed for trying to roust people on the subway, there's going to be a few less thugs rousting people on the subway because he got off. Which means, you know what else? It means the next person that's in that position who's sitting there minding his own business and he sees some dirtbag trying to give trouble to some other people, he won't be as hesitant to stand up and take care of it. All right? Okay. We will see what happens. Let me know your opinion. But we're in the process of perhaps making America great again. And we'll see. You all have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.